Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. And today I'd like to continue the theme of small business horror stories. And this relates to when I was running my IT repair business. And this was late 90s. So you're looking 1997, 1998, 1999. And in that period there, you were running Windows 95. You were running Windows 98. There was still a lot of DOS and 3.11, DOS 3.1, and Windows 3.1 and DOS 6.22, that sort of stuff out there. And this is the whole problem in a small business. You have stuff that you didn't supply. It comes into you. Customers bring in things that they've bought from someone. That's okay. That's all cool. That's fine. And then you look at this shit and you realize, often in those days there, what would happen is they'd have Windows 95 or 98 on there and they'd load up all these fucking games and software and the operating system would get bogged down in their shit. The only real way to fix this would be to back up their data, format the drive, set it up with a fresh copy of Windows, load their drivers, and then restore the data. And that process there, you could be looking at 2 to 4 hours easily on that. This is the day, not when there was no USB hard drives then, and it was quite difficult to do anything quickly, and it was difficult, like things like emails and that. There wasn't a lot of software which allowed you to back up emails easily. It was very, very tricky shit. And, you try and be honest and say, look, this is what needs to be done. It needs to be backed up, it needs to be wiped, formatted, and set up again, and it needs to be everything reloaded and the software restored. And if you were a dishonest fucker, you could make some money. But if you were honest and said, look, this is what needs to be done, and if you said to them, look, you want to save some money, why don't you back up the data and bring it back to me, and then I'll format it and set it up again. And 90% of those customers would go somewhere else. They'd go to a shark who told them, oh yeah, I can fix it easily, when really it was just buggy Windows needed to be reloaded and the whole machine needed to be fucking formatted and set up from scratch. But that's not an answer they wanted to hear. And see, the big problem in the IT repair business is, you compare it to the car industry, okay? What does an average family car cost? $20,000 to $30,000 for a 4-cylinder Japanese sort of car, or a Korean car. Okay, what does a service cost? A service costs what? $200 from the dealer? $300? Major service $500-$600? That's the ratios you use for a $30,000 car. Okay, fair enough. I can understand those ratios. So when they've got a $1,000 computer, they think a computer repair should be $50 because it's a $1,000 item. But the reality is, labor content is going to be what? $30, $40, $50 an hour minimum. And this is why the IT business sucks, because you really can't charge enough for what's needed to be done. And it's just fucked. The business model is fucked. It's a fucked game. It's fucked. And that's why I'm not in the IT business for myself. The problem with computers, my good friend Descartes, he said the problem with the computer industry is it's a cost center. There's constant pressure to make things as cheap as possible. It's a cost center. It's being squeezed. It doesn't bring in profit, doesn't bring in sales. It's a business expense for most businesses. And what happens is, well, it's fucking simple what happens. You've got so many young kids who love computers. They play games and then they're starting to get a career. They think, oh, I'll get into the computer industry. So you've got this big market of people who will work cheap to get a foot in the door. And that's the whole reason the IT industry sucks. It's a fucked industry, and try and do something else. Try and do something else. And it's funny, there was a small business where I live, which was an electrical company, Schultz Electrical, and they, for a time, they went into computer repairs as well. And then they dropped it. They dropped the computer repair side, and they said to me, I said to them, I said, hey, it's very keen to see what happened there, because I used to use them for electrical work, like sparkies, you know, electricians. And they said, oh, there's no money in computers. Lot more money doing electrical work than there ever was fixing PCs. And there's a lot of truth in that. It's really a fucked industry. It's fucked. It's absolutely fucked. And don't get involved in it. Don't get involved in it. Try and get a trade. That's where the money is. It's trades. You know, everyone wants to be a white collar worker. Well, I'm sorry to say this to you, but in this new day and age, white collar work, office work, that's being exported to India. India, China, the cheapest common denominator. Call centers, they're all going, customer service, it's all going offshore. The areas that survive is sales and trades. That's what I honestly think. If you want to make a lot of money, I'd be getting into a fucking trade. That's a license to fucking print $50 notes. And stay out of the fucking computer game, that's for sure. I'm Archie Luxury, talking about small business horror stories. Tell me what you fuckers think of that.